You've watched The Sixth Sense at least twice, maybe 3 times. You think you know every twist, every camera angle, every whisper in that house, but you missed something that was right there the whole time. M. Night Shyamalan hid a second movie inside the first one, a movie only for people willing to rewatch it, a movie about the real twist nobody talks about. Here are the hidden clues behind The Sixth Sense and the truth that changes everything when you finally see it. Number 1, the color code. Watch the beginning again. Really watch it. Every scene with Dr. Malcolm has warm lighting, reds, golds. It looks safe. It looks alive. But Cole's scenes, blue, gray, cold. The cinematographer wasn't being random. Every color tells you who's dead and who's not. You were supposed to notice. The movie was screaming it at you. Look closer at the next viewing. The warmth disappears from Malcolm's world the moment you stop paying attention. And here's the thing most people never catch. The red isn't just ambient, it's deliberate. Cole's mother wears red when danger is close. The balloon at the birthday party is red. The doorknob to the room where Cole hides is red. Shyamalan built an entire visual language around a single color and buried it so deep in the frame that your conscious mind can't grab it. But your subconscious does. That uneasy feeling you had the first time you watched, that wasn't suspense. That was your brain trying to decode a warning signal it couldn't name. And it goes further than any color theory breakdown you've seen online. Pay attention to when the red disappears. There are scenes where the palette drains completely, where everything turns slate and bone white. Those are the moments when the dead are closest, not approaching, already there. The color red isn't warning you that something bad is coming. It's warning you that something bad has already arrived and you haven't looked in the right corner of the frame yet. Shyamalan treated every single shot like a painting with a hidden figure, and the color was the brush stroke pointing your eye away from it. Number 2, the wedding ring. This one destroys rewatchers. In the very first scene, when Malcolm sits with his wife, she's not wearing her wedding ring. Pause there. The camera makes sure you see her bare hand. You miss it because you're focused on the dialogue, but Shyamalan wanted you to miss it. He wanted you to feel the wrongness without knowing why. It's the first clue, the one that retroactively ruins the entire movie, and it gets worse. Go through every single scene where Anna appears after the opening. Every one. She never wears the ring when Malcolm is in the room, but in the scenes where she's alone, truly alone, the ring is back, sitting on the table, resting near her hand. Visible but not worn. She's grieving. She took it off because he's gone, and you watched her grieve for 2 hours without realizing it. You thought she was distant, cold, maybe falling out of love, but she was mourning, right in front of you. The ring was the confession the movie made in plain sight, and almost nobody heard it. Now think about what that does to the restaurant scene. Malcolm shows up late. Anna is sitting alone, dressed up, not speaking. You read it as marital tension, as a woman fed up with a workaholic husband, but she's not waiting for him. She's sitting at a table on their anniversary, alone, trying to feel close to someone who's gone. She pays the check and leaves, and Malcolm thinks she's angry. But she was never angry. She was doing the only thing a grieving spouse can do, showing up to the places where love used to live and hoping something still echoes there. That scene isn't about a failing marriage. It's a woman performing a ritual of grief so private that even the audience wasn't allowed to understand it on the first viewing. Number 3, Cole never eat. Go back and count. Every time someone sits down to eat, Cole isn't hungry. He pushes food away. He refuses. He sits alone. Dead things don't eat, right? But he's moving. He's breathing. Your brain ignores it. You think he's just a traumatized kid. That's the genius. The movie hides its biggest secret in the smallest details, in what isn't there. But flip this around. Think about what Cole does instead of eating. He draws. He whispers. He arranges tiny figurines into violent scenes. The kid is processing death constantly, not because he's morbid, but because death is literally sitting across the table from him at every meal. His refusal to eat isn't trauma, it's instinct. His body knows something his words can't express yet. He can't swallow food because the air around him is wrong, because something cold and invisible keeps pulling his attention away from the living and toward the dead. You read it as a character quirk. Shyamalan wrote it as a survival mechanism. And here's a detail that gets overlooked in every analysis. Cole's mother eats. She eats in nearly every scene they share. She cooks. She serves. She sits across from him and lifts the fork to her mouth. It's her way of saying everything is normal. Everything is fine. We are a family, and this is what families do. But Cole won't mirror it. He can't. Because for him, the table isn't a place of safety. It's a place where the boundary between worlds is thinnest, where the dead crowd in closest, and where pretending to be normal takes more energy than a 9-year-old has left. Number 4. The doorknob. The cold comes before the ghosts in Cole's house. But there's something else. Every door Malcolm touches gets colder. Every conversation happens near a door. The symbolism tears your palms open. He's always leaving. He's always at the threshold. He exists between two worlds. Watch his hands. Watch where he stands. He's not in the room. He's passing through it. And if you really want to lose sleep, pay attention to how many doors Malcolm actually opens during the entire film. Count them. The answer will disturb you. He doesn't open doors. They're already open when he arrives. Or someone else opens them. Or the scene cuts, and he's simply on the other side. Shyamalan choreographed an entire film around a man who never physically interacts with a single door, and you didn't notice because your brain filled in the gap. That's the real horror. Not that Malcolm is dead, but that the movie trained you to see a living man where there was only empty space. This extends to every physical interaction Malcolm had, or rather, doesn't have. He never picks up a glass, never moves a chair, never brushes against another person in a hallway. The film is built on negative space, on the things that should happen but don't, and your mind papers over every single absence because you trust the grammar of cinema. You've been trained by 1,000 movies to assume that if a character is on screen, they exist in that space. Shyamalan exploited that training like a magician exploits the audience's need. Follow the wrong hand. Number 5. The staircase scene. This is the scene that hurts. Malcolm walks down the stairs during the dinner party, fully dressed, there. The lighting is warm. He's present. But listen to the sound design. There's an echo. A wrong echo. Like footsteps from another room. Like something walking behind him that isn't in frame. It's so subtle, so easy to miss. But your body registers it. Your skin crawls. That's intentional terror. The sound designer layered Malcolm's footsteps with a half-second delay, almost like a second pair of feet trailing behind him. And mixed underneath the ambient noise of the party, there's a low hum. Barely audible, sitting right at the edge of human hearing. It doesn't register as a sound. It registers as a feeling, a wrongness in the pit of your stomach. Shyamalan didn't just direct this scene. He weaponized it. He turned the sound mix into a psychological trap that works even when you know the twist, because your nervous system responds to frequencies your ears can't consciously identify. There's also something most people miss about the blocking in this scene. Malcolm descends the stairs and enters the frame from above, an angle that in classical filmmaking is reserved for authority, for a rival, for someone commanding the room. But nobody in the room reacts to him. Not a glance, not a turned head. The composition says power. The response says absence. Your brain receives both signals simultaneously and can't reconcile them, so it discards the one that doesn't fit the story it's already telling itself. That's not just good filmmaking. That's cognitive warfare. Number 6. Cole's redirection. The kid keeps pointing Malcolm toward the basement, toward the locked room, but Malcolm never goes. Not once. A living therapist would demand to understand. He would push. He would investigate. Instead, Malcolm accepts the strange behavior without question. He never forces Cole into the basement where the truth lives, because he can't. Dead people can't walk downstairs to basements they've never entered, but there's a deeper layer. Watch how Cole steers every conversation. He doesn't just redirect Malcolm away from the basement. He redirects Malcolm away from himself. Every time Malcolm gets too close to asking the real question, what do the dead people want? Cole changes the subject. He talks about school, about his mom, about anything else, because Cole already knows what Malcolm is. He's known from the beginning. And he's not afraid of Malcolm. He's afraid of what happens when Malcolm figures it out. He's protecting a ghost from its own death. A child carrying a burden that no adult in the film can see. That's not a plot device. That's tragedy. And it reframes every single scene they share. When Cole finally says, "I see dead people," you think he's confessing his secret to his therapist. But he's not. He's giving Malcolm the biggest hint he can without shattering him. He's standing in front of a dead man and saying, in the gentlest possible language, "You are one of them." And Malcolm doesn't hear it, can't hear it, because the dead in this movie don't know they're dead. They only see what they want to see. Cole is speaking directly to Malcolm's condition, and Malcolm interprets it as someone else's problem. That's not just dramatic irony. That's a child being braver than every adult in the film combined. Number 7. The temperature drop rewatch. Every scene where something supernatural is about to happen, the temperature doesn't just drop in the house. It drops when Malcolm is present. In the office, in Cole's living room, anywhere they're together. Your teeth should grind. Your palms should sweat because the cold isn't chasing them. It's between them, and the actors sell it without a single word. Watch Haley Joel Osment's breathing in the scenes with Bruce Willis. Watch his shoulders. He tenses, slightly, almost invisibly, the way a child tenses when something cold brushes the back of his neck. Willis, meanwhile, plays it completely still. No shivering, no reaction. Because Malcolm doesn't feel the cold, he is the cold. Two actors performing in the same scene but existing in completely different realities. One alive and freezing, one dead and unaware. The temperature isn't a special effect. It's the distance between two people who should never have been in the same room. There's a moment, blink and you'll miss it, where Cole exhales and you can see his breath inside a house, in a scene that's supposed to be a normal therapy session. No one comments on it. No music cue tells you to be afraid. The camera doesn't linger. It just happens. Like a crack forming in a wall that everyone walks past every day without noticing. Shyamalan trusted that detail to sit in your peripheral vision and do its work silently. And it does. It absolutely does. Number 8. The final conversation. Malcolm tells Cole a secret. Not everything is what it seems, but he never looks Cole in the eye when he says it. Never. He's talking to himself, giving himself permission to accept what he already knows but refuses to admit. This is the moment the whole movie pivots. Everything before was denial. Everything after is acceptance. And you missed it because you believed in Malcolm. You trusted him like Cole did. But here's what nobody talks about. The real twist of The Sixth Sense isn't that Malcolm is dead. You get over that. You process it. You move on. The real twist is that the movie was never about death at all. It was about the things we refuse to see in the people we love. Anna wasn't cold. She was grieving. Cole wasn't disturbed. He was brave. Malcolm wasn't healing a broken child. He was being healed by one. The dead aren't the monsters in this film. The real horror is how long it takes the living to pay attention. How many dinners Anna sat through alone. How many times Cole's mother looked at her son and saw strangeness instead of courage. How many sessions Malcolm spent asking questions he already knew the answers to because admitting the truth would mean admitting he was gone. And that's why the movie still works, 27 years later. Not because of a twist ending, but because every single one of us has looked at someone we love and failed to see what was right in front of us. We've mistaken grief for coldness, bravery for disorder, presence for permanence. The Sixth Sense doesn't end when Malcolm realizes he's dead. It ends when you realize you've been watching a love story told entirely through the things people couldn't say to each other. And that ending doesn't live in the final scene. It lives in every scene you ignored on the way there. You've rewatched it. You know the twist now. But there's a second twist hiding underneath, and most people never find it because they stop looking after the first one. If you survived this video and you're about to rewatch The Sixth Sense tonight, hit like. Tell me below, what's the one movie scene you can never unsee? What movie twist changed how you watch everything?